Hello, I'm James. I'm an actor and a magician and a friend of BICT's. Welcome to my magic workshops that I'm doing as part of BICT and Friends at Home. Each week, for the next 5 weeks, I'm going to teach you how you can do a magic trick with things that you can find around your own home. I'll show you the trick, then I'll teach you the secret behind it so you can do it too. And then I'll share some tips about how you can be a better performer and a better magician. For the first week, I'm going to share with you the secret of teleportation, how you can magically move an object from one place to another. The great thing about this is you can do it with any small object, as long as you have lots of them to begin with. So, let's take a look. M&Ms. Oh, I could eat them, or I could show you a magic trick with them. Let me see how many I've got. There's a pair, and there's a pair, 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 and there's one extra blue one left over. I'm going to put the blue one in this pile. So there's one extra M&M over here. But here's the magic. If you point your fingers at the pile with the extra M&M and wiggle them like this. Oh, go on. Wiggle your fingers. Oh, very good. Now point at the other pile and wiggle your fingers there as well. That should be long enough. Now let's count. Over here, where the extra M&M was, there's a pair, there's a pair, there's a pair, there's a pair, and the extra M&M has disappeared. I wonder where it went. Let's count. There's a pair, there's a pair, there's a pair, and there's the extra blue M&M. The blue ones were always my favourite. So how did that extra blue M&M magically jump from one pile to the other? What's the secret? Well, the secret is there isn't really a secret. This trick actually works automatically. The important thing is that you start with exactly 15 objects. And they could be anything. So I used M&Ms before, but to explain, I'm going to use these coloured beads because I think it's a little bit easier to see on this black background. So I've got 15 beads. I had 15 M&Ms before. And the secret really lies in the way you count and in what you say. Actually, I count them 2 different ways, but I say the same thing so people don't notice that I'm doing something slightly different, and that's actually what makes the trick work. At the beginning of the trick, when I start counting, I take 2 and say, there's a pair, and then divide them into 2 piles. There's a pair. But at the end of the trick, when I count them back into the bowl, I take 2 from the same pile and say, there's a pair. There's a pair. So the counting is different, and that's why the trick works. Let's take a look with these beads and see if we can figure out what's going on. So I know I've got 15 objects, and I'm going to divide them, remember, to begin with, into 2 piles by saying, there's a pair, and separate them. There's a pair. 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 And there's one left over. That's my extra one. Now there has to be one left over because I started with 15, which is an odd number, so that's the odd one. But let's take a look at the 2 piles we've made. there's 7 beads in each pile. There's an odd number now that I've divided them. There's the odd one in each pile. So when I take my extra one and add it to one of the piles, look what happens. By adding that extra one, I've made a pair in this pile. So now, when I count them back into the bowl, the new way, there's a pair, 2 from the same one. There's a pair, there's a pair, there's a pair, there's nothing left. The extra one that I added made a pair and I counted it back into the bowl with one of the other stones. Over here, there's still 7. There's my odd one. So when I count a pair, and a pair, there's 1 left. And I say, oh, there's the extra one. It's not. The extra one was still over here and has been counted back into the bowl, but it looks like it's the same one. Because I've counted it in a different way, people are confused about that. So it looks like this has magically jumped from one side to the other. Now with the M&Ms, because they were different colours, I thought it was fun to actually talk about, oh, the blue one. If you want to do that, there's some extra things you need to remember. You need to make sure when you count them out, you put at least 1 blue M&M in each pile and leave the blue one as the spare one at the end in the middle. Then, when you count these back into the bowl, you need to make sure you leave the blue one till last. So there's a blue one that goes over here. They all go back in the bowl, and there's a blue one that you leave at the end to make it look like it's the same blue one that's jumped across. It's more to remember, but it's an extra fun thing if you want to. But you don't have to. Like you can see, it works perfectly well with stones that are all the same. Or what about paper clips? If you can find a box of paper clips at home, count out 15 paper clips, you could do it with those. Something else that you could use. Coins. They don't have to be the same value. You could use a pocket full of different coins. You could even borrow them from someone. As long as you can find 15 coins, you can do the trick. Maybe you like drawing. If you do, you've probably got lots of pens and pencils at home. If you can find 15 pens and pencils, it works with those. You can divide them into 2 piles and magically make a pencil jump from one pile to the other. If you're a magician, like me, you may have a pack of cards at home. You could count out 15 cards, divide them into 2 piles and do it with cards. Even if you're away from home, if you go to the beach, maybe you could find 15 small stones or shells and show your friend on the beach. It really doesn't matter as long as you can find 15, remember that's the magic number, 15 small objects, you can do this anywhere. And the secret is in how you count what you do and what you say. This is a great example of a magic trick which works all by itself. But you still need to remember what to do and what to say, which means it's very important to practice. And that is my performing tip for today. Practice. As an actor and a magician, I spend a lot of time practicing or rehearsing before I perform anything for a real audience. I know it's really exciting when you learn a new magic trick. You want to run and show someone, but if you don't practice first, you might forget what to do or what to say, and then the magic doesn't work, and that's a shame. So, before you go and show anyone, practice. So when you stand up in front of your audience, you'll feel confident to perform. Time to grab 15 things and start practicing. And I'll see you next time on James Magic. Bye for now. Oh, before I go, I hope you're enjoying these tips and tricks and that you try them for yourself at home. If you do, BICT and I would love to see it. Why not record your magic and send a clip to BICT? Just record it on your phone and email it to bictfest@gmail.com. I can't wait to see what you do. Bye for now.